What's up, 12s? Victor here, and I need your full attention for this one. Because we just won the Super Bowl, we got revenge on the New England Patriots, and instead of slowing down, the Seahawks are already making moves that could shake the entire NFL. And what I'm about to tell you shows two completely different strategies happening at the same time. Let's start with the under-the-radar move. Seattle just signed back a young defensive end who most casual fans probably forgot about. Undrafted, Illinois State product, spent camp with us, got waived, re-signed to the practice squad, released again, now he's back. Why does that matter? Because this is the same player who blocked a potential game-winning field goal against the Raiders in the preseason. That's awareness, that's effort, that's special teams impact. Championship teams don't just chase headlines, they build depth, develop traits, and keep competition alive at the bottom of the roster. But now, let's talk about the move that would make headlines. There's a trade proposal floating around that would send Seattle's no. 32 and number 64 overall picks in the 2026 draft to the Las Vegas Raiders. And in return, you get a 28-year-old edge rusher with 69, 5 career sacks, 133 tackles for loss, 5 Pro Bowls, multiple second-team All-Pro selections. One of the most relentless pass rushers in football, 106, $5 million extension under contract through 2029. Cap hits north of $35 million in 2026, not cheap. But let me ask you something, 12s. What happens if you add an elite double-digit sack machine to the best defense in the NFL? We just won a Super Bowl because we dominated in the trenches. 6 sacks in the big game, 3 takeaways. Physical football. We might lose Boy Mayfield in free agency. So the question becomes, do you reload or do you go nuclear? This front office has cap space. We have our first-round picks, and we're in a championship window before massive extensions for our young stars fully hit the books. That's the context. One move says, develop and stack. The other says, we're building a dynasty. And I want to know where you stand. Would you give up a first and a second to land one of the most feared edge rushers in the league right now? Or do you trust the draft and the depth-building process? Drop your take in the comments. I'm reading everything. And if you're a real 12, if you're still celebrating this Super Bowl like I am, smash that like button. Subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update, but only if you're proud of this team and ready to chase another Lombardi. Because this offseason, it's about to test how aggressive Seattle really wants to be. Seahawks Nation, let me ask you something. What if I told you one of the most underrated plays of the preseason might actually matter for our Super Bowl defense next year? Yeah, because while everyone's focused on big names and trade rumors, the Seahawks just quietly brought back a guy who once blocked a game-winning field goal. That's the type of detail championship teams pay attention to. All right, let's talk about Jalen Gaines. Who is Jalen Gaines? Gaines is an undrafted rookie out of Illinois State who originally signed with Seattle after the 2025 NFL Draft. He went through training camp, he played in preseason, he got waived during final cuts, came back to the practice squad, then got released mid-season. That's the grind. That's how life works for undrafted guys in the NFL. But here's what makes this interesting. Seattle brought him back after already signing 15 players to futures deals the day before. That tells me something. That preseason moment matters. Let's rewind for a second. Preseason game against the Raiders. Last-second field goal attempt. Game on the line. Jalen Gaines blocks it. No game-winning kick. That wasn't random. Blocked kicks are about explosion timing effort film study. You don't accidentally block a potential game winner in the NFL. That play alone showed special teams value. And if there's one thing we've learned about this Seahawks front office, they value versatility and effort. Why this move makes sense. Look at the bigger picture. Seattle just won the Super Bowl because of defense. 6 sacks in the big game, 3 turnovers, relentless pressure. But championship teams don't stop adding competition. Edge depth matters. We don't know what the future holds for rotational defensive ends. Injuries happen. Free agency happens. Gaines is low risk, high motor depth. He's young. He knows the system. He's already been through camp here, and he's shown impact ability on special teams. That's how you build 53-man roster strength. Development is the secret sauce. The Seahawks have historically been strong at developing under-the-radar talent, undrafted guys, late-round picks, practice squad promotions. You don't just chase stars, you cultivate contributors. And remember, Gaines is still raw. Coming from Illinois State, he's adjusting to NFL speed, strength, and technique. But defensive line depth is about rotation and energy. if he gives you 10-15 snaps in a rotational role. Special teams impact, development upside, that's a win. Championship mentality. What I love most about this move, it shows Seattle isn't satisfied. They're stacking the bottom of the roster. They're creating competition. They're making camp battles real, because complacency kills champions. And this front office isn't acting like a team that just got lucky. They're acting like a team building something sustainable. The numbers behind the philosophy. Last season, Seattle's defense thrived because of pressure depth. It wasn't just one guy getting home. It was waves. Pressure rate consistency wins in January. And special teams, hidden yardage wins games. A blocked kick can swing momentum instantly. So even though Gaines' stat sheet isn't flashy, his impact potential is real. Seahawks Nation, what do you think? Do you like these under-the-radar developmental moves? Or do you prefer chasing bigger veteran names? Do you think Jalen Gaines can make the 53-man roster next season? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Seahawks Nation, I need you locked in for this one. We just won the Super Bowl. We're picking 32nd overall. We've got cap space. We've got momentum. And now there's a trade proposal out there that says we send our first and second round picks for one of the most dominant edge rushers in football. Are we talking about building a dynasty? Before we break this down, if you're a real Seahawks fan who's still celebrating that Super Bowl revenge win over the Patriots, hit that like button right now. And subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update. But only if you're proud to be a champion and want to see this team go back-to-back. All right, let's talk about this Max Crosby situation. The trade proposal. According to CBS Sports' Tyler Sullivan, here's the deal. Seahawks receive Max Crosby. Raiders receive 2026. First-round pick? No. 32 overall. 2026 second-round pick, number 64 overall. So, basically, our first two picks at the bottom of the round for a superstar. Who is Max Crosby, really? Let's talk facts. Crosby is 28 years old, 69, 5 career sacks, 133 tackles for loss, 5 Pro Bowls, multiple second-team All-Pro selections. If it weren't for guys like Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, and Micah Parsons, Crosby might be getting even more national attention. He's elite. Relentless motor, high pressure rate, dominant against the run, rare durability. He plays a massive percentage of snaps every year. He's not just good, he's franchise-altering. The contract breakdown. Now let's talk money. Crosby is under contract through 2029 on a $160 $5 million extension. Cap hits 35, 8M in 2026, 29, 7M in 2027, 27, 2M in 2028, 28, 2M in 2029. That's expensive. But here's the thing. Seattle has the cap space. And more importantly, our rookie contract window is still open. Before massive future cap hits from players like Jackson Smith-Njigba and Devin Witherspoon really explode, this is the window. Why this makes football sense. Let's zoom out. We just won the Super Bowl because of defense. 6 sacks in the big game, 3 turnovers. Complete dominance. But we're losing Boy Mayfield in free agency. That's a real edge presence walking out the door. So what do you do as defending champs? Replace good with elite. Imagine Crosby in this system under Mike McDonald. Creative pressures, simulated blitzes, overload fronts, interior collapse, plus Crosby screaming off the edge. We were already the best defense in football. Adding Crosby? That's how you build something that could surpass the Legion of Boom era defensively. And yes, I said it, the draft capital question. Now let's be real as fans. Giving up the 32nd and 64th picks hurts. Cheap rookie contracts, long-term depth, developmental upside. But here's the counter. Late first-round picks are not guaranteed stars. Max Crosby is already proven. Would you rather hope your number 32 pick becomes great? Or trade that pick for someone who already is? That's the debate. Championship windows don't last forever. This is what this move really represents. Are we satisfied with one Super Bowl? Or are we chasing a dynasty? The NFC is wide open. We have the roster, the cap space, the culture, the momentum. You don't always get all 4 at once. And when you do, sometimes you strike. My honest take as a Seahawks fan. If this proposal is real, 32 and 64 for Crosby, I'm seriously considering it. Not 3 firsts. Not a crazy overpay, but a late first and second for a 69, 5-sack, 28-year-old superstar under contract long-term? That's aggressive, but smart aggression. This is the type of move that tells the league. Seattle isn't defending a title. We're coming for more. Seahawks Nation, it's your turn. Would you trade the 32nd and 64th picks for Max Crosby? Or do you build through the draft and trust development? Dynasty move or too risky? Drop your take in the comments. Like the video if you're proud to be defending champions. And subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update, but only if you're a real Seahawks fan who believes one ring isn't enough. Because if John Schneider pulls this off, the rest of the NFC better start planning for second place. Go Hawks!